the one and only Amir Ali. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
And then I started doing more research and I found you, and I hate doing videos, but the coaching calls was one of the things. And then you had another video that caught my eye where it was specific, outside the PMP, but I knew this is real content. This is things that will be on exam, right?
I did hard work for sure, but I think the follow-up, sir, you did. I don't know how you managed to do the follow-up. With one particular student like me, you have hundreds of students. You're just keeping an eye on each of the students. So after my hard work, I can say that the credit goes to you, sir. That is for sure.
Hi Amir, good morning. Yes, I cleared the exam. Thank you so much for your support. And this has happened only because of the customized roadmap and mocks, and you always keep on asking us to do proper RCA, detailed RCA. It happened only because of the detailed RCA. Yes, this RCA helped me a lot.
Thank you for all this guidance and support you gave me. Mr. Amir, thanks for our team.
So I was just looking at his post, who cleared the PMP, and he used to post the success stories on daily basis. So I reached out to Alina and I asked her how is this program or something. So she said you can trust him and you should join this program if you are looking for it.
It was a very customized base feedback that I was getting from sir, from you.
So yes, follow-up is very important, and thank you very much for that. It made me accountable. If you didn't ask me this often, I would have slacked off more.
I would say your course was super important. I think this was the main part, once you understand the course, and then I think the mocks were super important. Your emphasis on mocks, you kept nagging us that, get this mock done, do RCA. All of this was super helpful because questions were they were similar. So yeah, mocks were, there are so many mocks that you have, and if you do all of them, I'm pretty sure anybody who goes, who does them can easily clear a PMP.
Amir, first of all, thank you so much. I think without your guidance, it took me 1 year, one complete year. I was preparing for PMP through books and everything. So I was giving some mocks also available online, and I was not able to, have that confidence that I'll be able to clear. But I'm telling you, after attending the classes, especially after doing the mocks, doing the RCAs, I was feeling confident enough that yes, I can attempt it. And the day you told me to book your exam, I still asked you that are you sure that I can give the exam? And you said yes, you're ready.
First of all, I thank you a lot for the privilege, because when I started encounter with your program through LinkedIn, so some of your talks, always motivating me, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. So I always follow you, almost everything, all your journeys. I watch all of them, even the one that they speak in your local language.
So that was not an easy journey, and it would not be possible without you. I really appreciate the support. He was always available for my questions and always put me in the right direction. And actually, if I want to say how was the journey, my journey started 2 years back. When I first called you for the SP, and then you directed me to PMP, and then we did SP after that, and then you tricked me to do the PGMP.
Thank you so much, and again, Amir, thank you so much, and your mocks are really good. I mean, yeah, please, everyone should do your mock for sure, and then they will be all prepared for the exam. And trust your program.
And then you came with your follow-ups, and that kind of really boosted me. Those daily follow-ups, making sure that I was getting the mocks that I needed to do completed, and following up on me, it really boosted my motivation again. And as I was started doing those mocks, I got an opportunity for a job which required me to have PMP, so I had to go for PMP before I get the interview.
Mostly coaching goal is for you understand how you will solve the question. Mostly it is like that. We can only do the 10 or 12 questions, maybe less than that. But main thing is it will come into your bones that you have to do elimination technique. So you cannot go just, okay, this is the answer, I will go directly put this answer. That is the main thing. It will come into you that you have to do elimination technique. That is the best thing for coaching all.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, with the right guidance from yourself, I managed to do good in the exam and to clear the PMP. I would say that your approach was really helpful because I'm not that type of a person who would sit there and read a lot of theoretical things to get things done. I'm more of a practical person who would prefer practicing over sticking to the theoreticals. And
I would definitely say that the root cause analysis for me was the key. And here's why. Is some people try so hard to memorize all the processes and how they're all linked together. And if you do this, then you got to do that. And some people, maybe they think that way. That was very hard for me. It was just a lot to memorize. I'm not Amer Ali. I can't do that. So for me, just the process of actually answering the questions with your technique of process of elimination. And then when you're left with always like two answers, which one do you do? And if you get it wrong, you have to go do the root cause analysis. So thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you very much for everything. Fantastic. I would not have done as well as I had done if I hadn't had that foundation that you gave me, for sure.
Who here wants to be successful? Raise your hands. Hi guys, good to have you, great to have you, so happy to have you all for here. Now you have seen so many success journey, 2000 plus that I just shared. And what a week we had. We had Eid, we have my birthday, we have so many gives away. And today we have one of my favorite students who cleared PMP. Now her success journey is very interesting. Okay. So she took at least 5 months to join the program and like 20 calls and so many motivation. I told her you will clear PMP in 1 month. And I am so happy that Dani today is a certified project management professional from UAE. And let me make it very clear to everyone. She joined batch 2 and her point was, Amir, I'm at 0. I don't know anything about it. I said, don't worry about it. We started working on it. In 1 month, she worked very hard. She worked hard. I want to point it out. And she was ready before Eid. I remembered I asked her last Thursday to give the exam. But we had some challenge and working into a different way. But finally, she is here as a certified PMP. And I want her to share journey. Dani, congratulations, sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amir.
Okay. Dani, walk me through your journey. I shared it from my point of view. Why don't you share it?
Yes. Yes, of course. So, yes, I took a lot of time to join the program. I was very clear from the beginning that I know this is going to take a lot of effort, dedicated time and everything. And I am a person, or maybe at our age and profession at this time, we will not be able to do that sustained effort for more than say 45 days or 2 months. So I was very sure I am going to utilize the less working hours that we have here during Ramadan, and I'm going to utilize that to my benefit and prepare at that time. So when I learned that you have a batch which is going to overlap during this time, I was very sure I'm going to join this batch, and I was very clear I will clear it before my Eid holidays are over, and I'm very happy I did that. So today is the last day of my leave, and I cleared it. So that is how I am happy.
Yeah, okay. I'm so happy for that. And guys, we will do question answers after Dani journey. Guys, put your questions, what questions you may have. This is a student who cleared PMP straightforward in 1 month with a straight goal and got it in that thing. And I would say she's an extraordinary student, but she does not consider that as herself. And in the last coaching call we did, she did a question like, I normally get confused with a student, and I had truly believed in her. I had given her go ahead even to give the exam. Dani, what happened in last Tuesday coaching call?
Yes, preparation level that was I was getting okay. I'm okay. I'm okay, but I have this problem. I get too demotivated very fast. In the SWOT analysis, which Amir sir asks on the very first day, this was one of the points I had written to him. That if I get demotivated, I take 10 steps back, and it is very difficult for me mentally to go ahead. So that happened, and I just totally went blank in one of his classes. He asked me a question, I was totally blank, and I couldn't believe I went totally blank like that. So that was a setback. And if you believe me, I mean, you won't believe me when I say this, but the last 1 week was more of training myself mentally to be calm and cool during answering a question than actually preparing the topic. I knew the topic, but I was taking more time in calming myself down when I'm answering a question. That was more critical to me in the last 1 week.
In the last 1 week. Now, this is a very interesting thing. Normally, people think that you go like that. No, people go up and down, and things keep on changing. Okay, Dani, let's talk about to the fast forward today. You gave the exam. Walk me through your entire last 24 hours. How did you manage the last 24 hours with our conversation? Then exam. How did you manage time and things of those nature?
Yes. So in the last the final mock, final overall mock that you had asked us to do. So that I did. I reviewed all the overall mocks, RCAs, where I'm going wrong. I did the last two very useful documents that you give for revising. I went through your PMP booklet. That was very easy to go through in a nutshell, everything in a nutshell, all those things. And I read and reread the agile mindset and the servant leader uh, topic a few times through the booklet that you had given. That gave me a good setup for today. And I had stopped studying in the last 12 hours before the exam. I had a really good sleep. I thought that was like really useful for me. I woke up calm, cool, composed, and the examination hall experience was also very good. The hall was examination center was good. So up to the exam hall, everything went very well.
Okay.
Then
What did they
yes,
check? Like now, passport was one thing that we were. So you showed them Emirates ID or passport.
I showed my passport because here in UAE, at least for me, the name in my Emirates ID and the passport is not the same. So if anybody is having the same situation, same problem in name, please carry your passport because they checked only the passport. They need only one document which has the same name as the PMI application. That's all they check. The second thing I will say is that many a times, at least what I was doing is I used to do the mocks with my headsets. They don't give headset in the PMP exam
You were doing walks with the headset. Why?
because I am very sensitive to any surrounding noise.
Okay.
If 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 there is any noise, I get distracted very well. So I used to do that with the mocks. I used to do the mocks with the headset.
This is the first time I'm hearing this thing that someone does it in this way. This is a very interesting thing. But do they provide those earplugs or ear muffs something? Because I
They
remember they do that. Or no?
They do. I asked them for a headset. They did not have it, but they gave that small plug which you can use. And luckily, in the slot that I had chosen today morning, there were only two of us in that room of 10. So it was really quiet that way. So not much of an issue.
That was the problem. Like that never became a problem. But you
Yes,
thought sound
yes.
otherwise. Okay, this is an interesting thing. Like if anyone else use a headphone or something to work into this way, just like her, maybe bring your own headset there, right? Maybe they can allow that. Maybe I'm not sure.
No, they don't allow that because they check your pockets, they check your sleeves. They do a really detailed checking. They will not allow even a pen with you. So they will not allow you if you take your own headsets either.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's something that is important and that we should know. Okay, then how did you manage time?
Yes.
How did you
Okay.
manage time? Now the exam part.
Yes, about the exam part. So the first section, I will say, was relatively easier compared to the second section. So if I'm the first section, why
The first
was
section, let me understand what you are saying. The first section was comparatively easier than the second section. That's what you
yes,
said.
yes,
Ah,
absolutely.
okay,
So
okay.
if I have
Interesting.
to if I have to rank in terms of difficulty, first section was easiest, second
Okay.
section was toughest, and third section was in between the two.
Hmm, hmm. So the
Okay.
first section was actually the easiest in the entire exam. If
Yes.
what I That's what I am hearing. The
Yes.
first section actually the easiest one in all three. That's
Yes.
really interesting. Okay, then please
So
move on.
first was interesting. I could finish it in 75 minutes,
Okay.
and I somehow had a feeling that the first section is a little too easy, so maybe things are going to get tough in later on. So when I saw that I can finish, I finished it around 76, 77 minutes. So I stopped and took my break then, and then took 80 minutes for second section,
Hmm.
and then again the remaining time in the third section.
Remaining time in the third section. Okay. Which
Yes.
area of the questions were most highlighted?
Okay, so compared to all the previous stories from other applicants that I had heard, so my experience was there was not really a very specific area which was being asked today.
Hmm.
Most of the questions were hybrid plus some topic, hybrid plus communication, hybrid plus risk, hybrid plus stakeholder. A lot of it was hybrid plus stakeholder. Only agile, very few questions.
Hmm.
Within agile and hybrid also, I saw some two new things. One is the term called project product leader. So the term
Yes,
product
did you
leader,
yesterday you watched my video which I made that the exam has changed. Now exam is not saying
yes,
project manager, all those mumbo jumbo they are using. So what was the term exactly?
the term used was product leader, but with it project manager was also in the same question. And from
Okay.
the scenario, it looked like the product leader is actually same as sponsor. So
Ah,
I that logic and answered the question. It was not a
okay.
difficult question, but that term was new.
So I made a video for you on a right
Yes,
time.
yes, absolutely. I saw that yesterday.
Okay,
And
okay.
there were some questions today where product manager and scrum leader
Hmm,
or scrum master are there in the same question.
hmm,
There
hmm,
is a project manager also, and there is a scrum master also. Both of the terms are used in the same question.
hmm.
So
Okay.
this was also something.
Which mocks now were more relevant to you? Last 60 mocks, the 180 mocks, or which mocks were more relevant to you?
So overall marks were very relevant. In fact, I got 7, 8 questions absolutely the same.
Yeah, those are PMI
So
ATP questions. No, yeah, those
typical,
are yeah.
typical questions, absolutely same. In fact, some had very little wording change, some had no change. Very, very same questions, absolutely same questions.
Hmm.
There was only
The
the
last
last,
six. You are saying the last six mocks, right?
the last marks, yes.
The
Some
last
questions,
six.
some questions were also from the 180 marks.
180. Okay, those have been made by certified PMPs. Okay, okay. Let's work into further into that thing. If you have to say what is the number one important thing for the people who are preparing for PMP, what would you say?
So if I say for the people who are preparing, I will say that I think it is better if you have a target date and work towards it.
Hmm,
PMP preparation cannot be an open-ended preparation. Your energy, your productivity will fizz out. I think it is better if you set a target date and then finish it within that. Second thing is RCA. I know everybody says RCA is very important, but today I realized that I have learned more in RCA than actually while doing the class.
Every single person has given the same comment, but interestingly, every single person watching the video still will not listen. This is the mantra of my life that I have been. Haven't I said the same thing from day one?
Yes.
Right? But you guys, like, tell me what should I do, Dani, that you guys start listening to me?
I don't know what better way to put it. Your experience, absolutely. I mean, everybody should just blindly follow what you are saying. Doing RCA is very, very important. And RCA does not only, I was doing a very bad quality RCA initially when I was doing your class, the homework that you were giving in the first 6 classes. I was doing a very bad RCA. I discussed it with my facilitator. He told me how the RCA should actually look like. And then I improved my RCA. And since then, I understood things much better. And I
Okay.
remember things much better. So quality of RCA is also important.
Walk me through that, because this question is always there: how to do RCA. I don't care about that, but if you consider there's a better way to do RCA, let me know. So what is in what you started doing it that helped you in improving your score? What is the better way of doing RCA?
Okay. So for RCA, in 95% of the cases, we can eliminate it to two options very easily. Now, initially, it is important to write down why I am eliminating, so that that point sticks to my mind why I have eliminated, and later on I can stick to that as well. Now, when I am finalizing between the last two options which are left, what are the keywords I have ruled out and why I have chosen the final option, keywords or something, that is also very important. Or if the same concept, if I'm linking it across many questions, that also helps me remember, okay, so this, then this, and this. So I remember it in a series. So that step by step in RCA is good.
Okay. Okay. What else is important apart from RCA?
Apart from RCA, I think it is important to remember the, the very basic definitions, like some things which you said, like high level means project charter, preliminary means business case, like that. These small words will help you to rule out a lot of options easily. Today also it happened in one of the questions. So that's how, when you are saying these keywords, these help us to eliminate a lot of things.
This helps you. Okay. So did you read my book, Pathway to PMP, or any other book?
I read the booklet that you have, not
No,
pathway.
book.
No,
This one, this is a book. This is a book. This is not a
I
book. This is this is a booklet.
yes, this is a booklet. I am not much of a reader. I told you the very first day that you give me the minimum thing I have to read, and I will read it fully, and I did that. I am sorry, I have not read your book. I
No,
have
no.
read the book.
That's what the point is. You don't have to read any book to pass the PMP exam. I'm an
Yes.
author, and I'm telling you, and this is what is the interesting thing. Like, people copy pasted me by saying you don't have to read book, but I'm an author, and I'm telling you, you don't have to read even my book to clear PMP exam. How important this summary or this booklet is?
This is very, very, very pertinent to the exam. Very pertinent. If you are free, if you like, we all have PDFs in our phone right now. If you are free, if you are traveling somewhere, you don't have anything else to do, you can just read it and revise. This is the best revision material you can get.
Okay.
So
How many formula question there?
only one, only one formula based question in the entire paper, and that was related to the PERT question, which you
Okay,
have.
okay. I guess everyone understand what question you are talking about, and
Yes.
probably most of them remember answer. Guys, why don't you put answer in the chat box? Okay, and what about graph questions? How many graphical questions were
No
there?
graph question. No graph question. No math. No other maths related question. There was only one maths related question.
And
That's all.
drag and drop questions? How many drag and drop?
Questions there were four,
Hmm.
and two of them were very tough. Two of
Hmm.
them were okay. drag and drop was not easy, absolutely easy. It wasn't that. Two of them were absolutely for agile. The four ceremonies they were given. That one. Another one was also related to agile but difficult. Another two was communications and team related, mixed up.
Communication team related. Okay. How important it is for them, for everyone to join coaching call? How important it is? And first, how important it is?
It is an understatement to say that it is important. It's like very, very important. This is the best kind of practice you will get. And when sir is giving the explanation, why this, why that, and five people are giving in the chat box, you yourself will feel motivated to study if you don't know. And if you know, if you give it, if you answer correctly, that will also be like super beneficial in your preparation. So it's very important to join the coaching call if you already aren't.
Hmm, hmm. Okay, okay. Coaching calls are most important. Why do you think coaching calls are important?
Coaching calls are important because you get to see a variety of questions. You discuss some questions which are prepared by the PMPs. You are discussing the questions which are coming absolutely in the near past. The type of question, if there is any change in the question pattern, that also you get to see. What are the topics that people are getting in the PMP? That also we get to see. So that means it is very important. And the most important thing I will say is you explain the process how you are eliminating the options and choosing the final answer. That is very important. I
That is
think
that.
at one after sorry for continuing at one point of time it became a second nature to me that okay, this is the word in the question, so I can eliminate two options easily and discuss between the other two.
Okay. Let me tell you, Jani, as we are talking, one of batch three student, he just messaged me. I just heard that how important RCA is. Now I'm gonna do RC. And my message to him is why you are not doing RC for last 3 weeks. But this is something when I say why people ask me, Amir, like many students, Mohsin cleared before you yesterday, and I asked him I wanted to record a journey. He is a batch three student. He cleared yesterday. Batch three, you are batch two. Just to give
Yes.
you a context. So he's a batch three student, and I said, why you need to record? You already had 2,000 journeys because of this. I never know what one word when you say how to say it will keep you. I have so many caps, loyal, and then this even different color than my. So like I never know which one word will hit you, which one thing will hit you. So this is why I record this success journey. I could have recorded your journey in the morning. I know that they will be joining the coaching call. When you share them, they can ask their question answers. Okay, guys, your questions are open. Let's take your question. Babar, hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. Assalamu alaikum. Congratulations, Nataranj. Your batchmate is saying congratulations. Congratulations, Asa Amir. Your batchmate saying congratulations. Hamad, congratulations. Okay, how much time it is required to fully prepare for PMP exam? So let's make it for Dani, you give it to you. When you actually joined, how much time you daily gave, and what would you say?
Okay, so I joined your batch on 14th of Feb. So I will say it is like 6 weeks till now. Uh, it will take dedicated effort of minimum 4 hours per day, and it you have to do something every day. If you give a gap in between, your speed and your momentum just goes away a bit. So even if you are not taking a mock, it is good to do at least some question answers, some revision, something or the other, or even listen to your videos, your pathway PMP mastery series video. I used to hear it on the way to office and back from office. If I'm not doing anything else, I'm used to hear your YouTube videos. That is what I used to use for revision. So that is how I used to took my
Oh,
time.
commitment is there. There is no question into that. If you are not 100% committed, I like to say, if you are half pregnant, you cannot do that thing. You have to be 100% committed to something, then you can get that thing. There is no other way. do that. Okay, Azam has asked a very specific question. What were your scores of 180 and how many 180 mocks you did? Before you answer that, Azam, every student does different 180, right? Not all of them do the same. So now if you can answer, please.
Yes, I took four 180 questions, four 180 marks I took, not all of them. I did four. Uh, the first one was like absolutely, I mean, a shock, but my average was in 70s, something like that. Average was 70.
The
Yeah.
first is always shock because you don't know how to manage the time. Like the purpose of 180 is always time management. How we can
Yes.
manage time and how we can look into that. The better
Yes.
time management you can do, the better these things will be. So, like for example, she did mock 1, then mock 2, then mock 4, then mock 5, then agile. You are forgetting agile. You did agile, so 5
Right.
180. Yes.
Age, then essay mock 4, which you said.
Agile 180 essay project management mock 4. So she did all of those mocks and she was consistently getting good score. What was your score in agile mock? Was it less or no?
Agile mock was less. Agile mock was, I mean, I don't know, more or less. It was around 73, 74, something like that, I think. Yeah, from what I remember, it was 73, 74, something like that.
Okay. Okay. Congrats, Bilal, your batchmate again saying no, he's batch 3. Okay, Rashid. Other people said, yeah, Rashid, it's all about like this is what the dynamics of PMP exam is. I yesterday said to her and also to one more student, 90% of the time the first section is hard. But that maybe PMI is listening to my feedback, they are changing it. It is possible. It is possible. Like I have received many time email from PMI. Why do you put success journey? I said, yeah. What's the problem in there? Tell me where I am violating any policy. I am not sharing anything that is not allowed. So they are continuously looking into that. They are continuously looking into that. I remember in one of the success journey, I actually shared one question. They circled it and sent it back to me. Can you remove it? I removed it, right? So this is there is always a thing that I need to look into that, and PMI is looking to maybe they change it. Okay, product leader is product owner. Congratulations, Manikan. Guys, please do like the video so that it can start coming into the algorithm. When you like it, it comes into the algorithm. Okay, so Rashid is saying, does agile stakeholder communication team still make up most of the exam questions or no?
Agile specifically was not too much, only agile. But hybrid with all the other topics were most of it today.
Okay, so most of the topics were according to that. Okay, Manikandi saying congratulations, Naman saying congratulations, congrats from Meher. Finally, you joined the league. Meher, your first batch. Yes, student of
So
batch 2.
I want to share something. You mentioned how important it is to join the coaching call. So let me share how I benefited also. Okay, so in these coaching calls, you share the success journeys of batchmates, right? So I remember Meher, who was in the same batch as me. He cleared it last week, and I had joined the coaching call. He said the exact same thing, that his first section was easy and the second section was difficult. Okay. Today, after doing the first section, I was having the same feeling. What if my second question section is difficult? And that's why I stopped at 75, 76 minutes so that I have 80 minutes for the second one. If I had not listened to him or his success journey, maybe I would have taken 80 minutes, wasted 4 more minutes doing revision, and then taken a lot of difficulty and a hit section 2.
Thank you for that. But I did mention in the video, do not go and revise the questions. Do not review the questions. I did mention that. Okay.
Yes.
Shirley, your batchmate is saying congratulations. Okay, Babar has a very specific question. What is the best technique for efficient time management in the exam? So I did mention in the final video, and you know that you don't get that video before exam. You get it one day before. Like Kavi Priya has an exam tomorrow. Your batchmate, I haven't given her the video yet. She's reviewing I follow very steps sequence. 6 mocks, review them, then the final video, right?
Yes.
Then I call. So what is the best? So if you can put something to them, what is the best way to manage time in the exam?
Okay, so what I did today also, when we get the writing pad, what I did was I wrote when I at what minute at least I should reach the midpoint of the section. Like if I'm 0 at 2:30, then the 30th question or the midpoint of the second, the 150th question or the 90th question, what minute approximately I should be there. If I'm deviating from that, I know I have to make up for the time. So I set a target and then divide the time in between. That is what I was doing. And if there was something where I did not have time, it was too difficult, I did what you also taught: read the last line, options, question, and answer.
With the last line question, move forward and keep doing that. This is an important thing I want to put into that. You should not stop. You should not stop into that and keep moving forward. That's a critical part into that. By the way, Baba, the best technique that I recommend is 75, 75, 75, and then 5 minutes, whichever the section is more hard. So if you can further divide it into 20 question, right? So instead of 60, 60, 60, you can divide it into 20. Okay, 20 questions should take almost 25 minutes, 25 minutes, 25. So in this way, you can also navigate it. Congratulations. Yes, guys, likes the video. So this question keep on coming. How much time daily you put in the context? 4 hours?
Minimum was 2 hours for sure, and on days when it was possible, I was putting in 3 hours, 4 hours. Weekend, more than that. Weekend, sometimes I was doing around 8 to 10 hours also. I had
So
stopped everything in my life but this.
it has to be. It
It
has
has
to
to.
be. That's why you waited 5 months. Like 2 months back, we had a call. You said that Amir, I will be doing this at this time because I know I want to get this thing done. When I
Yes.
started, and I have to say, Dani, you're among very few people. Many people are talking, 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 and actually don't doing it. You actually did what you said. I'm proud of you for that. So you're saying congratulations, congratulations. Okay, Vignesh Ajay is now. No one ever asked this question. Vignesh, thank you for asking it. How important it is mind maps? I made you to do mind maps. Why it is
Yes.
important? How much is important?
Mind map was one of my favorite things to do from your class, because I somehow am one of those people who remembered pictures and pictographic description well. So if I make a mind map, it will stay in my mind which topic is related to which thing and how it is divided into the 5 subtopics and so on. So that ways it was like really, really helpful for me. Mind map is definitely something which is very, very important to remember and link up all the small, small topics.
Link all small topic and worked into that way. This is something I'm always proud of, that everything's worked out at the end. Okay,
Yes.
Mohsin is saying congratulations. Bilal Masood had a very interesting question. How much time you took in the first 180 mock? Now let's go to that mock, because that mocks you were like almost crying. So do we? How did you do that one?
First 180 mock, uh, I was I was like, I don't know anything, and I completed before time because I did not know many of the things, and I got in 60s, and I sent a message to you. This is a disaster. I don't know where I am lying in my preparation right now, but then Awais ji and sir, both of them told, okay, just move on, prepare, move on, prepare, move on. And I remember the day I joined the coaching call after mock 4, you told me, just read the RCA of 4 and go to mock 5. And I completed mock 5 and it was better than mock 4. And that was the turning point, that okay, it's not like I have to prepare before every mock. My momentum has to be there. So that mock 5 was really, really turning point that way.
Hmm. Okay, that is something that we always like. In the first 180, you will get a bad score. I always say that the reason is that this is the first time you are sitting for 4 hours straightforward, and nobody had a stamina. Nobody have stamina to sit for 4 hours, and then you build the stamina onto it. So that is something that is always there into that. Thank you for the question, Simon Beg. is asking how much RC helped you. She did answer, but if you can rephrase that again one more time, Dani.
RCA is the single most important thing which will help you sail through the PMP journey. The single most important thing. If you stop doing everything else also, RCA is the only thing which will help you in your preparation. Personally, I learned more in the RCA than actually in the first classes.
I'm gonna clip it and send it in the group again, so that they can listen to this again. Okay, so okay, now this is the interesting question. Vignesh is asking very interesting question. Now one, now the RCA that we do for topic is different. The RCA we do for what to say, for 60 question and then 180 question. I change your pattern for that, right, Dani? So how
Yes.
you did RCA for 180 marks and 60 marks?
I did not change my personal practice. I was very comfortable in that Excel sheet practice. So I did that because I used to use the filter to find out some topic and filter on that. Another thing I did it for myself for every 180 marks, whichever question which was going wrong, I used to make a column and put the topic of that question so that at the end of the day, at the end of the mock prep, I know which is the area where I'm making the most mistakes. So maybe I have to revise that. So like this, I fine tuned in some of the topics I knew I was making too much mistake. Like for example, stakeholder engagement plan. I was making too many mistakes in that in my first few mocks. So and I found that only through the RCA when I linked up. So then I read a bit more and then studied a little for one day and then took the next mock. It was getting better.
It was getting better. Okay. How important it is to remember PMI terms? Suhail, what do you mean by what PMI terms? So let's put into that how PMI says stay. So were there any question which was confusing like risk log? There are some question in our mocks, risk log instead of risk register, issue register instead of. Were there any terms regarding uh, or the same 18? Okay, let me rephrase this question. How important is to understand 18 plans and 33 documents?
It is important. I mean, for me today there was no question directly asking about each what does each plan have or something like that. But when you want to eliminate some option, it is important. Like there is one line which you say in every class: risk is not there in the risk management plan. I, I can even say this in my sleep right now.
But still, people make mistake. Yes or no? Still, people make the same mistake.
Even I make mistake about it, but this is that one thing which will help you eliminate the option.
Those small tips that helps you to remove these things that will help you. Okay, Dani. Now a very important question. You don't know that, but before 2021, the exam used to ask what is the input of this, what is the output of this. Did you get any questions about input or output?
No, nothing like that.
Any question that directly ask which tool is this?
No, today nothing of that sort was there. Today
All
most of the what should the project manager do, what should the project manager do first. Some questions today were what should the team do. Some questions were actually, yes, I forgot to tell this to you earlier. Today there were some questions, what should the team do.
what should the team do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how important is to have a servant leadership mentality and agile mindset? How important? Like that, these are the last thing I said to you yesterday, right?
Yes.
Even on the audio, I said when I said you there will be some questions from the like if I if you allow, can I play the last audio? Can I send you?
Yes.
Okay. So because I was very much worried about her. Let me make it very, very clear to everyone. I was kind of very worried about her because of her coaching call. So let me show you what I said to her as a final audio. And if I show you this thing, like this is the audio. Best of luck for exam tomorrow, sister. Remember. Okay. Best of luck for exam tomorrow, sister. Remember, whenever you feel a little bit overtired, and you will feel, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and move forward. 80-75-75 principle. Use this. First 60 question, 80 minute. Next 60, 75, 75. You will see impossible questions. Some of the questions that you don't know how to solve. Use elimination technique, agile mindset, and servant leadership mentality. You will see some repetitive questions for those questions. Again, agile mindset and elimination technique. Don't use memory. Go for the exam and may the God be with you. So go for the exam and may the God be with you. This is everything that we worked into that way. Okay. So how can you please let me how you did RCA? Vignesh, she shared it in the start. Actually, step by step, how to do the RCA. One more, can you walk through what videos you watched? Like what videos? Mastery series, you said?
Yes, PMP Mastery Series. I came to know about this in one of your success stories. You remember you mentioned Dania's video, Dania Nair. She
Mhm.
said that to see the PMP Mastery Series. After watching her success story, I actually went on YouTube, found all the videos, and every day my office commute time was your video in the in my headset. That
Hmm.
was the only thing doing full revision. That is full revision in one nutshell.
Hmm.
So that is how I used to do.
Okay, guys, for those who don't know where the how to find the mastery series in the main PMP aspirant group and mastermind group, like the main groups, I'm sending this link to you guys so that if you are unable to find what she is saying, I don't want you to get lost into that. I'm also sharing the link here. Okay. One final questions. I know it has been longer than we expected. Okay, but that is a benefit here because batch three they are attending the first success journey. This is their first live coaching call. Did you feel nervous when you feeling behind an exam? How did you control and went back on that track? Like especially the long question. And did you guess any answer? So he asked multiple questions. If you can answer them, please.
So Rashid, thanks for your question. So like I told you before, for me, calming down was 50% of my job today. If I knew, if I controlled my fear, my tension, my panic nature, 50% of the your board is over. So I used your deep breathing techniques today. Today, in the first 7 minutes, when the instructions were going on, after the all the instructions were done, I took all the time to do deep breathing. Yeah, after every 20-30 minutes, I was doing deep breathing. In the break, I was doing deep breathing. That really, really helped.
Hmm.
So to calm down, that is the best technique I think I could use.
Okay, so what she is saying, what I say, and let's everyone, all of you, I cannot see, but let's do that. I learned it. I'm a very angry guy. Like my, I don't know why. I have never fought anyone, but my brain looks like that. I get very impatient. So I have learned this because I have done so many certification, which I teach in the final video. Close your eyes, take a deep breath for 3-4 seconds, hold it for 3-4 seconds, and do it whenever you feel down and you will be in the way. Thank you very much for all the tips. Thank you very much for that. Yes, mastery series is in the tracker sheet, Baba Saab. So Dani, people will reach you out. People will reach you out. I want you to follow my mantra. When I had the first PMP, I followed that mantra. With now like almost 2500 PMPs we are reaching very soon, that I am following that mantra. Each one, teach one. Right? People will reach you out. They will ask you silly question. Right? They look like silly now, but if you go back to your journey, you ask the same questions.
Yes.
Okay. Try to help them. Try to coach them. Work with them. Which each one, teach one is the mantra here. Second thing I'm gonna ask you is please make question answers. Probably next Saturday. I haven't decided yet, but probably next Saturday we are going to have our PMP marathon. So see if you can make some questions for the PMP marathon. That will be great. Okay, try to send it today or tomorrow because then you will be busy in your lives and things of those. Send a beautiful picture of you. I will put that as a thumbnail. Okay,
Sure.
whatever picture you want.
Yes, Amir, can I share just two very important from my
Let me
experience?
do one thing better for you. Let me remove myself with the screen, talk to everyone, share whatever you want. Here you
Okay, so the thing is that while doing the mock, one thing which many of you had been asking me, how what changed in my mocks. The first few mocks, I used to sit, randomly on the sofa and do a mock, or change my position frequently, do a mock, because it was not so timed and all. But then I realized that if I have to give the mock from a table and chair kind of a setup, I really have to practice in that setup. So if you can, please sit in that same table chair setup, the screen in front of you, mouse beside you, everything. Just our bodies must just train your muscle to be, doing the same thing through the mocks. I am very sure that will help you in the final mock. The second thing is that this PMP journey sometimes becomes a bit frustrating because you are the only one who's preparing, and you are the only one who is doing the question and studying. Try to make friends within your batch, within somebody who has given PMP, who is in the same journey as you. That journey then becomes a bit easier. I remember my batchmate Meher, who just did the exam last year. The last 2 3 days, I actually discussed with him, why are my questions getting stuck here. He actually found out the reason why I'm getting stuck, and then I could crack it. And I'm so happy to see that it is, a fellow batchmate who has actually helped me out because of this. So it was very, very helpful. And secondly is another friend of mine, Kavipriya, she has an exam tomorrow. So, I mean, we are always discussing what we can do better, how to stay motivated and everything. So I think that's how you will stay motivated, you will do better, you will feel better. So that is the best thing I can tell you.
Thank you, Dani. Dani, what is your local language? Mother tongue?
Bengali.
Bengali. Why don't you share one, like, why people should join my program in Bengali? Go ahead.
Okay. So আপনাদের যদি পিএমপি সবথেকে মিনিমাম সময়ে কোনো বই না পড়ে করতে হয়, তাহলে আমের আলী স্যারস ক্লাস ইজ দ্য বেস্ট ওয়ে টু ডু ইট। আই মিন, মানে অন্য কোনো ক্লাসের কথা, কোনো বইয়ের কথা, কোনো মেটেরিয়ালের কথা ভাববেন না। খালি স্যারের ক্লাস জয়েন করুন, উনি যা যা বলছেন সেটা ফলো করুন, তাহলে আই এম ভেরি ভেরি শিওর আপনি মিনিমাম টাইমের মধ্যে পিএমপি হয়ে যেতে পারবেন।
I only understand the PMP word, but thank you very much. I trust you said a good word. So send me those picture and questions. See you, sister. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
So much.
Thank you. Okay, guys, this was one of the longest success journey we recorded, and I am proud this is one of the best success. Did you enjoy it? Put in the chat box if you enjoyed it. Now we'll solve the question answers. Did you enjoy Dani's success journey? Put yes or no in the chat box. And did you learn something? Did it motivated you? Right? Let me change my cap because I feel more motivated after watching our success journey. I feel more dedicated towards you. Let's solve some question answers now. Right? So let's do that thing. So Vignesh saying yes, Bilal enjoyed, loved it. Sam, yes, sure, very encouraging. So let's get into the question answers now. Okay, guys, put in the group, your individual group and the main group, that we are solving question answers now, so that people can join. Okay, some people just keep waiting, so they can also join. Okay, so from question number 60. Solve this question. I'll give 70 seconds for you. Okay. Yes, encouraging, very interesting. Enjoyed every second of it. Please solve this question. Justify your answer. Justify your answer. Why this? Someone please put in the mastermind and the main group. The coaching call has started. You have identified a risk and made a plan. When the risk response plan was implemented, another risk occurred, which is even bigger than the first risk. Which document you will document this secondary risk that has occurred now? Okay. Bilal Masood, you are saying risk register. You are saying risk register. Yesterday I made a picture graphic that showed about risk and issue. Okay, like even the risk occurred. No. Bilal, read the question again. Let's walk through it. Let's understand what the question is actually asking. Right? What the question is actually asking. What is the purpose of the question behind? Every question has its purpose, and we need to understand what the question is actually asking. If you look at that, if you look at the question, what the question is asking, there's a risk. You identified, plan, you implemented. Now, because of this implementation, another risk, secondary risk, has occurred. The question nowhere says it has been identified. The question nowhere says it has identified. The question says it has occurred. If the question says it was identified, then we put a risk register. Right? But since the question says it has occurred, the question says it has occurred. This means you identified after happening. After happening. So when anything you don't have plan, you don't have plan, this means it goes to issue log. Anything, no plan, goes to issue log. Plan, this is for audit, and this is for overall. These four things you must know. The purpose of Chetan, what did you put? Not working. The purpose of risk management plan, the purpose of risk register, the purpose of issue log, the purpose of risk report. Actually, write it down here so that you remember what is the purpose of all these four things. Please put in the chat box. What is the purpose of all these four things? I'll give you 30 seconds, then we'll move to the next question. What is the purpose of risk management plan? What is the purpose of risk register? What is the purpose of issue log? What is the purpose of risk report? So risk register have a list of all the risk with their plans. Issue log, everything which does not have a plan and has happened. Risk management plan, the process, how the process should happen, and we do the audit. Risk report, it's an overall summary of the process. Let's go to the next question. Risk audit. Now I'm focusing a lot on the risk and agile topic for the last 2 weeks so that you can master these things. You are traveling back to your home from Dubai. You know that from your past experience, due to it, there will be much crowd, and you decided to reach 1 hour earlier this time. When you reached the airport, you were happy that you were right. In fact, the airport was overcrowded. Your plans have proven successful in handling. Which strategy you have used? Now, the purpose of this question is very straightforward, is to identify and understand what does each strategy mean. Asiamir, you said A. Can you put please justification? What does A mean? How the justification occur? Guys, again, I will go with the elimination technique. I need to understand here that each risk management strategy, each strategy has a purpose. There's a purpose of avoid, mitigate, transfer, accept. When I say avoid, okay, when I say avoid, risk is probability into impact. When you make probability zero or impact zero, then that is avoiding the risk. Let's go to this question. I reached 1 hour earlier, but is it possible that it was too much crowded that you still have a problem? Yes or no? Put in the chat box. Is it possible that you reached there, but still it was so overcrowded and your plan failed? Now this happens to me personally. I was coming from Dubai to, at that time I was staying at Dubai, and I was going home. It was so overcrowded. I reached there 2 hour earlier, not 1 hour earlier. The standard time is 3 hour. I reached 5 p.m. I was unable to even get into the airport. It was so overcrowded. Then, like, I barely got my flight, even with 5 hours, because the lines were too big. So I did not avoided it. I did not accepted it because I took proactive action. I did not transfer it because I am doing it myself. I mitigated it. If I have reached like 3 hours earlier, that is the standard time for international flight, what would have happened? What would have happened if I have reached it like 3 hours before? I could not reach it, right? I could not reach it, right? So I mitigated it. I minimized the issue. The problem was still there. Problem is still there. Is still there. I minimize it. I did not kill the snake and cut his head. I minimized it. Okay, that in PMI term is mitigation of risk. We discussed 4 documents before. Add these 2 documents and plans into that. Like we discussed risk register, risk management plan, issue log, and what was the for risk report. Add these two, and these questions are mostly from predictive from these documents. I need, because why you are, if you are giving an answer, I need a justification of that answer. What is the reason of that answer? I have to remove my cap. I am having a headache today. Okay. Which document you will update first? Listen to the question. Which document you will update first? Rule number 1 is slow down. Rule number 2, if the question is more than 3 lines, read last line first. which document you will update first. This is a keyword here. First. Which document I'm going to update first to avoid this problem in future. Okay. So even reading the last line, I know this cannot be project management plan. Okay. So that is eliminated. You are traveling back to your home country. You know that due to there will be too much crowded, you decided to reach one same question. You were happy to find out you were right. The airport was, you bought a ticket from airline Airblue. You have bought a ticket with the credit card of your friend. You found out this airline, this is the question. As a rule, if you are not a credit card holder, you cannot travel. Actually, this is not just with PIA. I just traveled to the United Airline, and United Airline had this rule. And then even I went to MGM Hotel. I paid through my MX Platinum, Business Platinum. They said that card should be present there. So this is a lesson for you if you are traveling. Try to pay it with the credit card that is yours, right? So airline has a rule, if you are not a credit card holder, you cannot travel. Which document you will update first? Please write down this as a rule. Write down this as a rule in your PMP preparation. Whenever a problem happens, the first step is to put into the issue log. This is a rule. I can even say law. This is a rule. Whenever a problem happens, the first step is to put in the issue log. The first step is to put in the issue log. First, you put it to the issue log, then do the root cause analysis, communicate that issue, and now for the future, then you update the lesson register. Okay. This is a very important confusion here, so I'm getting slowed down a little bit more here. Whenever the question says, what should you update this? What should you update first? It is always issue log. Okay. Now the question says what you should update first to avoid this problem in the future, right? First you update issue log. Okay. If only this word was not here, now it will be lesson unregistered. That is the power of keyword. This question is so important. It gives you slow down. It gives you read the last line first. It gives you identify the keywords. There are multiple keywords in this question. It gives you use elimination technique. Okay. Am I clear with this question? It's kind of very interesting question. I really loved it. This question is very interesting. The first keyword, if it was not there, right, the question answer could have been lesson line register. But because of this first keyword, only this first word, now the answer is issue log. Now the answer is issue log. I hope that is clear to everyone. Okay. Yes, Venu, sure. I repeat. Whenever the problem happen and the question says what you should do first, the first thing is put it into the issue log. That is the first thing. Okay. Now, if the question said what should you do to avoid this in future, normally we update the lesson line register, but first thing is always issue log. Okay, let me put this question as what if. If the question says which document you will update, the first keyword is not there. Which document you will update to avoid this problem in future. Now, everyone agree what is the answer here? Which document you will update to avoid this problem in the future? Immediately answer it in the chat box, because I'm going to ask another question from this question. Put in the chat box. What will you update if first is not there? Lesson register. If the question says which document you will update to avoid this, first is still not there in your current project. In your current project, what document will you update in your current project? Now what will be the answer? The same problem can happen in your current project. Now, what will be the answer? The same problem can happen in your current project. A risk register, because this thing has happened in past. Ashish, good to see you, brother. This thing has happened. It can happen again in your current project. This thing has happened. This can happen, may happen in your current project. Risk register. This is the keyword, the power, understanding. That's why I ask you to slow down. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you. Acha ji, let's go for the next question. Are you having fun with solving question answers? What will you do to make sure resources are working according to their capacity? Capacity, keyword. Again, you are working in the IT project, the project manager daily complain that they are overloaded. Keyword. They are not able to deliver and you have been receiving poor quality complaints. What will you do? Highlight this issue. This issue is already highlighted. That's what we are doing here. Issue is already highlighted. Hire more people. Okay, not a bad option. Not a bad option. Actually, not a bad option. The problem is there. So can hire. Fire complaining members. We never, again, and this is another rule, we never fire a team member. Use Kanban to set work in progress. Yes, this is something that we do. The purpose of the Kanban board is to limit the work in progress so that flow can happen one by one, one by one, one by one. So that can actually help you. Kanban can help you. Okay, let's go to the next question. what will you do to make sure that team can be transferred to agile in next 2 years? So now this is a transformational project. This is a transformational project that we have to do. Your team is moving from a predictive project to agile project. Your team has never done any project in agile. So of course they need a training. This goes without that. Now I haven't read the option, so I'm going through the questions what I'm saying. They are not convinced will this work or not. Many stakeholders have complained you that they do not think it will work. You have shown them this have worked in previous organization. Still, they are not convinced this will work in your current organization. Now, this is exactly what happened with the Dani case. Like I have been saying to all of you, do RCA, RCA, RCA. I am telling you, it worked with previous student. It worked with previous student, with previous batches. You never trusted me. But today, a pilot, Dani, I out of like let's say batch 2 has 80 students, out of 80, like she shared her story and Meher's story. We get two products here, and now you are trusting that RCA works for you. This is called minimum viable project. No MVP. You got my point? Exactly the RCA example. I have told you that RCA works for them. You said, yeah, but it will not work for us. I don't have time. But now you listen to Dani. That is our MVP. That is a pilot here. And now you consider it positive. Yes or no? Put in the chat box. That's very important. Always understand. Always try to correlate the things with your real life so that you can understand more. This is called analogy. I did not ask this to Dani. It is practically impossible that you don't get a question on the Tuckman ladder. You will always get a question in Tuckman ladder. What is Tuckman ladder? Stages of team: forming, storming, norming, performing, adjourning. So when a new team comes, it starts here. You make a team charter. Project manager is directive in nature here. The team members are doing their best, but they are doing it as an individual, but they are doing their best as an individual. Then conflicts start happening. PM act as a coach, use emotional intelligence, try to handle their conflict, manage those conflict, resolve the conflict. Then things start getting normalizing, norming stage, then performing stage, and then adjourning stage. Now, Performing is the ideal stage. Sorry, this is an adjourning stage. This is performing stage. So whenever a new team member comes, like it's like, let's say you got married. What happened? A new team member has come in your family. The dynamics of family changes. We are back to the stage one. A new team member come, people relate with him, like things changes. People mostly ask me, hey Amir, how's that possible? Let me give you another question to understand this. Do you know how do we calculate communication channel? If there are 4 people, communication channels formula is n into n minus 1 by 2. N is number of people. Okay, calculate communication channel n into n minus 1 by 2 with 4 people. Therefore, you are 4 people. How many communication channels are there? N into n minus 1 by 2. Calculate communication channel. So 4 minus 1, 3. 3 by 2. 2 ones are 2 twos are 3 twos are 6. So we have 6 communication channel. Now let's say one more person is added. 5. Now it is 5 minus 1 by 2. 4. Okay, that becomes 5 into 4 divided by 2. 2 ones are 2. Suddenly communication channel has become 10. So even a one team member can make or break one increasing team member. And if the previous team member goes, how I am communicating with them, it changes. It changes how things move into other direction. So that's why when a new team member come, we go back to forming stage. You're a project manager. For past 10 years, you have been working with the same team. That's why most of the project managers, if you have worked in the projects, they don't want to change the team. Due to severe COVID, one team member cannot work anymore. You had a new team member. So what is happening here? We are back to the forming stage. Again, I told you these 4 things you must master. Guys, please make sure you have liked this video. I can see how many likes are there. Let me see. Many people have liked it. Only 23 people have liked. We had 70 people at one time. Please make sure that you liked it, the video. Okay, you were managing a large project when COVID hit on 15th March. As a result, you complete project code stop. Now, after 3 years, you are back to business. You want to document that this may happen future again in your project, which document you will reflect. So, what answer I'm getting it? If the question is which document will reflect, which document you will update first? If this is the question, we learned something before. If the question says which document will update first, what will be the answer? Guys, which document will update first? What will be the answer? I'm gonna put it all four options as a right answers going with you. Which document you will update first? What will be the answer? Which document you will update first? First is issue log. Okay. If the question says which document you will update for future projects, which document you will update for future projects, what will be the answer? Which document you will update for future projects, what will be the answer? For future projects. For future projects, for not your project, for future projects, future projects. Future projects, lesson learned register. Which document will show summary of risk? Summary of risk. Which document will show summary of risk? What will be the answer? Which document will show summary of risk? What will be the answer? Risk report. And this question, like what happened before in your project or what can happen in your project, I am talking about my project, then it is risk register. Okay, so same question, different keywords, different line can change the entire thing. So be very careful when you're answering the question. Okay, risk register is the answer. Okay, another rule, we discussed few rules before. Another rule of solving question answers, whenever there's a communication problem, co-locate them. Whenever there's a communication problem, co-locate them. This is a rule here. If the question says they are having a communication problem, put them into one room, has a face-to-face meeting and work with them. A is the right answer. Another documents, here we will discuss 3 other documents and plans. Guys, if you have not read 18 plans and 33 documents article, I'm gonna ask you to read that article. I'm gonna put it into your group also. Okay, this is a very important, it will give you the context of 18 plans and 33 document. I shared it in the group, both of them. Okay. You must go through 18 plans and documents. They are gonna help you. Which document can oh, which document can guide you for this? You're the project manager working in a construction company. Now Eid is coming. You want to make a plan for Eid holidays. You want to see which resources will be available during it. Which document will guide you for this? Now we are looking for a date, right? Interestingly, this information is mentioned in all 4 documents. Interestingly, all 4 documents have that information, but the specific answer is resource calendar. This is what we say. There are 2 options. One is right, one is specific. Resource calendar is specific. No, no, no. But you should know RACI's responsibility, accountability, consult, inform. Resource management plans talk about how to acquire the resources, develop them, manage them, control them. All those things are being mentioned there. We need to know that. Okay. Okay, so we need to know what is definition of done. It's a checklist made by team to make sure that deliverable, that's how I know that deliverable is ready to submit to the client. Definition of ready, I can start working on the work. Acceptance criteria, client has accepted. Product backlog, list of all requirements. For last 4 sprint, client has rejected your deliverables. So he's not meeting acceptance criteria. Client rejects when something does not meet acceptance criteria, because I will only show to the client when definition of done is there. You want to make sure client accept the deliverable in the current deliverable. Which document will you check to make sure it make client requirement? Guys, your deliverables are already being rejected. Your deliverables are already being rejected, right? Already been rejected. So product backlog, no. DOR, no. We are only left with two options, DOD and acceptance criteria. I am showing you a client, the client is rejected, so I am left only with C option. You are working in the state of art project during 4 days. Client asks you that you want to add new requirement. Team is not, sprint backlog was accurate. What will you do? So we know that the question can say Scrum Master, whatever into it. Okay. You will communicate, it cannot be added, no. Respond to a change or following a plan, customer collaboration or contract negotiation. You will wait for the sprint to end, no. No, you cannot accept the change. Asia, you put B option, no. This is a product owner responsibility, right? You will not do that. C will be the right answer. I just made a small infographic that I'll show you guys. I just made it today. Okay, that I will show you. Just if I can close this thing. I have started working with the infographics on ChatGPT. I am sure you have heard that ChatGPT, the Jilby, whatever the word is, it is making it. So I was playing with that, and I actually made this infographic that will help you for that. This question, I will also share it in the group. Okay, just give me a second. By the way, what is your score? How many questions you got right? Yeah, Jilby. Whenever I have to type, I always put Babar Saab from Google and then ChatGPT make it. Okay, you see this. So when a change request is there, raise a change request, goes to project manager, it does impact analysis, sent to change control board and CCB. Agile, product owner, high value, high risk, and then we move it. It goes into that and he worked with it, right? So with that, thank you very much for joining the coaching call. On Saturday, we are going to have coaching call 1 hour before. It will be a 6-hour question answer session. It will be a 6-hour. You are looking good. I'm looking fat. Yeah. So it will be a 6-hour question answer session that we will be doing it. And that question answer session will be now according to what you have decided, right? Whatever you have decided, we will the question answer session will be according to that, right? The question answer session will be according to that. You remember I set a poll there. Still that poll has some days to complete. So I will put that poll one more time for you guys. I'll just share it. Okay, where is that? Still. This is still active. So if you haven't voted, you can vote there. Accordingly, either we'll do the breakout room exercise. Okay. This is still active. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Anyone has any question that they would like to ask? You're more than welcome. This is still active. Okay. Achha. So I put it in the group, so that worked. No, not 60 questions. That Babar, it will be decided by a poll. We will do probably 180 questions. It will be a 6-hour question answer session. Either we will do it, I'll do it, or you guys will do breakout room. But Saturday coaching call will be the most important coaching call you ever attended. Don't miss that coaching call. Make sure, like that coaching call will be 1 hour before. Today it was 8 p.m. UAE time. On Saturday it will be 7 p.m. UAE time. So whatever the coaching call time was there, like in Pakistan it was 9 p.m. Saturday will start at 8 p.m. Pakistan, 8:30 India, 7 p.m. UAE time, 11 a.m. EST. Okay, everyone clear? Ashia, time is clear to you and to everyone else. With that, thank you very much for joining the question answer session, and let's keep moving forward and become PMP. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, sat sri akal, good morning, good evening, good night. See you in the next coaching call.
I would have not been able to clear the exam if Amir Ali would have not been. I would have not been.
I did not believe that I will be able to clear my PMP within a month.
I don't know what to say actually, like I'm kind of like really
I got my results and I was above target in all 3 categories.
Wow.